If Apple made a portable display that paired with your MacBook, I think it would look something like this. So this right here is the Flip Action Elite 16-inch by SOTSU. Honestly, I've never heard about this brand before. I was kind of deep in some Amazon reviews, did some YouTube videos, and I didn't really find much about this portable display. And I've been on the market for one for my MacBook for honestly a few years, but I haven't quite pulled the trigger on any of them because I never really felt like they fit the bill, or they weren't portable enough, didn't have the right screen specs, or just in general was a clunky experience. But I found this one, and I think it's the one that I'm going to use all the time. Quick disclaimer, this video is not sponsored. SOTSU did not send me this. They're not sponsoring me they're not paying me to say any of this. I paid for this monitor with my own money. And so everything I'm saying is just my true experience and whether or not I recommend this portable display or not. So I've broken this video down into a few different sections, and I think these are the most important things that you would honestly be considering if you're in the market for a portable display. And that is the portability of it, or how easy it is to travel with, the use cases or different configurations with your devices, the screen quality, and then also the build quality, or how durable it is and if it's gonna last. So first things first is portability. Personally, I think this is one of the slimmest portable displays that you can find on the market, at least in terms of the functionality that it offers. It's pretty minimal. It comes in a not so great carrying case in my opinion. It's basically like a little sleeve. Another thing I found out while on this trip to Asia is that this right here, this like little laptop sleeve, this SOTSU laptop sleeve that they got going on here for the carrying case. At first I was hating on it because it feels so cheap and flimsy, which it still kind of is, but it makes for a really good mouse pad when you are working. So at first I was hating on it, but actually there's some functional purpose on it. This table that I'm working on remotely is not the best for this mouse that I'm using, but when I have the SOTSU carrying case, being able to use as a mouse pad, pretty nice. But I do think that the slim profile is nice because it fits in to pretty much any laptop's like section of a backpack or a bag with my MacBook Pro 14-inch. And I did not want to have to carry a separate case or have a separate section for the portable display. I just sandwich it with my MacBook and it slips in right into my backpack or any other luggage that takes laptops. I think what makes the SOTSU display stand out is that the stand that you use it with magnetizes to the back of the display. That's honestly a game changer. Because a lot of times when you're using portable displays, you're gonna have a separate monitor stand or whatever. It's usually big, clunky, or even heavy. But this is the best integration of a stand for a portable display that I've personally seen. There's other portable displays in the market that have slim kind of stands, but they don't do what I'm about to show you. The reason why this is called the Flip Action Elite is because you can actually rotate the monitor in 3 different configurations with that portable kickstand. It's pretty crazy. You can have it in the normal configuration, or you can have it in the vertical orientation, or my favorite, which is the very tall, you flip it to the most tall configuration, and you can have it sit right above your laptop, or in this way, this is my favorite configuration, which is right above like a MacBook. What makes it so portable is obviously the kickstand that lays flat, but it's also the hinge that lays flat on the monitor itself. It's a 2-piece kind of configuration. You put it on the stand, and then you're able to tilt and rotate it on that kickstand. Like literally right now, I'm not in Seattle. We're filming this video in New York, and I have the monitor with me. I've also set this up at my hotel room, so when I'm in my hotel room, all I need is this monitor and this one cable and my MacBook, and I'm pretty much good to go with 2 displays. Going into the use cases and different configurations, as I mentioned, this is my favorite configuration, which is having it at the tallest setting and then having my MacBook right below, because now I don't need a separate keyboard. I could just use my Mac keyboard and a mouse like this, and then have a second display up top, which I think is just one of the best setups if you're working remote. But you can also rotate it vertically or have it at its lowest configuration if you want a bit of like a side monitor, which that also works too. But the side monitor and the vertical is kind of something that you've seen a lot of portable displays do. They usually have some sort of flap or kickstand to get it vertical, but not that many can pull this tall configuration off very well, and especially not in a way that looks aesthetic without some huge stand. Even in this talking head shot, you can see that the stand and the MacBook, they look like they were made for each other. It's like this display came with the MacBook and I'm using it together. And that's how I know this is probably one of the best portable displays for specifically the MacBook. So when it comes to your specific setup, depending on the type of laptop you have, you could be setting up at a hotel room, in a cafe, if you don't want to look like you're setting up a command station inside of a cafe and you're cool with that. Or even if you're just at home and you want a smaller setup in the kitchen, or you want to move to the living room, or you want a third display for your home setup, you can do that with this one. I think one of my primary use cases of why I need a portable display is when I'm traveling and I need to edit videos or edit content. The 14-inch display of a MacBook, it gets by, but I do miss having a 16-inch. But I don't miss traveling with a 16-inch, especially on plane rides or in cafes. Sometimes it's just too big. So I do want the extra real estate. But my main reason for wanting an extra monitor, especially when I'm traveling for long periods, is when I'm editing videos. So I usually have my timeline down below and then my playback window up on top. This makes video editing so much more enjoyable than looking at this small little screen on a MacBook. When I'm not editing videos or content, I like to still have a second display because my main task is kind of on the top monitor. And then down below, I have things like messages, my music player, or any kind of random productivity tasks that I don't want in my main window. Obviously, aside from the portability and the use cases, the most important thing to consider is the screen quality. There's plenty of portable displays in the market that are budget. You can get them for really cheap, or you can get them for really expensive that are like OLED. So the screen quality has to be good, especially if you're using it for something like a MacBook Pro that has a liquid retina display that's really nice. You don't want your portable display to be super janky that doesn't match your MacBook display. So let's go over some of the screen specs that this has. So SOTSU makes a few different types of monitors at different sizes. I think this is one of their top of the line models at the moment. So it has a 4K display and 450 nits of brightness with a 1200:1 contrast ratio. Just to put into perspective how pretty decent that is, the Apple Studio display that costs like $1,500 from actual brand of Apple has a peak brightness of 600 nits, which is obviously more, but the contrast ratio is also 1200:1 on the Studio display. So the fact that this portable display has a decent contrast ratio, pretty much matching the Studio display, you can be sure that if you're doing any type of creative work or editing or need good blacks, you're gonna get that with this portable display. The refresh rate is 60 Hertz, which isn't crazy. Obviously, 120 Hertz would be nicer, but I'm not complaining about that. Another important spec of the display is the 100% DCI P3 color gamut. Again, this just means that if you're doing intensive creative tasks or you need a very color accurate display, this will get you pretty close. It also has an anti-reflective coating on the screen to cut some glare. I haven't done any intensive tests on that, but at least for my use cases so far with where I've used it, I haven't had any issues with reflection or too much glare. Now, last but not least, but also important, is the overall just build quality. When you're buying a piece of tech, when you're investing the type of money into a portable display at this price range, you want it to feel premium and you want it to feel good. This one, I can honestly say, is pretty premium feeling. It's hard to say over video, but I can try to show you. It matches very nicely with my 14-inch MacBook Pro in the silver colorway. In terms of build quality, it feels solid, it feels premium, it doesn't feel cheap or flimsy. I'm not sure if anyone is like me, but I know that when I have silver tech accessories like this MacBook or the iPhone, when I get other silver peripherals or other accessories to go with those Apple products, it's so annoying when the silvers are like not matching. Especially when you're using it like this or they're near each other. Something about the silvers not perfectly matching is super annoying. It's maybe just being too extra, but I'm just kind of like that. I don't know if anyone can relate. But I can confidently say that when I took out the Flip Action Elite monitor, the silvers were pretty spot on with the MacBook Pro silver. And that's awesome because when you're using it, like I said, it looks like they were made for each other. Another impressive thing about the build quality is this 4-key button kind of dial pad menu button they have in the backside. It's super minimal, basically hidden, but you use that to configure some of the settings of the portable display like the brightness. On the display, you also have a few ports, which is nice. You have a USB Type-C, a Type-C power pass-through port, a mini HDMI, and an SD card slot. Not good, y'all, not good. We were like kind of testing this out. I was trying to get an SD card slot. It literally got stuck in there. because I didn't put the SD card slot the right orientation. I was like experimenting and then it like got stuck in here. So now I can't get my SD card slot out. Bro, that's low-key a problem. They definitely have to fix that one because that's crazy. I need like tweezers now or something to get that out of here. So I'm traveling right now and I've set up the monitor, but one thing to note with the monitor and the ports is the SD card slot is very, very sketchy. I would not put any SD cards into the SD card slot. I tried to do it and it got stuck when I was in New York. And then here too, I feel nervous putting it in. It just doesn't have a satisfying click. And it also doesn't, you're kind of confused on which way to put it in. So 10 out of 10 would not recommend the SD card slot. And SOTSU, if you're watching this, I don't know if mine's a defective unit, but that's probably something you need to look at. All the magnetic features function pretty well in terms of build quality, and all the hinges to adjust the viewing angle of the monitor feel really solid as well. The only thing about the design and the build quality that I really don't like though is this massive SOTSU logo that they put on the back of the stand. Now, I respect a brand that wants their logo to stand out, but I feel like this one's a little too much. I feel like if they had a smaller logo somewhere, it would make the back look so much cleaner and more minimal. The big SOTSU words is kind of an L, honestly. Especially if you're at a cafe and it just says, huge says SOTSU. But maybe that was intentional. Maybe they want this monitor to be seen from a mile away and they want to see, okay, what is the brand, what is the monitor? That's the only way I could justify that they would want to have a logo of that size on the back. Because other than that, it's just an L to have words that big. Just make it smaller, like just a little smaller, it would have made the display look so much cleaner. So the price of the display is $800 or $789 to be exact. And it is pricey, I'm not gonna lie. You can find portable displays on Amazon or anywhere else for probably half that price. But I will say, this is the best looking monitor that I've seen for the MacBook Pro, at least for me. It has relatively thin bezels. It kind of looks almost like an Apple product. And I think for the price, it's expensive, but I do think it's worth it. Disclaimer, the unboxing experience is nothing premium. It's just a basic box with like a simple menu. So don't expect anything on that front. It's not like unboxing an Apple product, but the product itself is really good. So what do you think? So I will stand by my statement of this feeling like the most Apple, non-Apple portable display.